He was the kind of guy no one ever noticed. The quiet type who stayed in the background, never causing trouble, never drawing attention. His name was Ethan. In college, he wasn't popular, rich, or the life of the party, but he was smart, kind, and genuine. And then there was her, Lily. She lived in a different world entirely, beautiful, confident, and always surrounded by people who adored her. For Ethan, she was the dream he never thought he could have, until one day she smiled at him. It started small, a few conversations after class, a couple of study sessions, and then late-night talks that made him feel like maybe, just maybe, she saw something in him that no one else did. For the first time, Ethan felt like he mattered. He opened up to her, sharing his dreams, his insecurities, and the story of how hard his life had been growing up. Lily listened, laughed, and made him believe she cared. But what he didn't know was that for her, it was all a joke. Her friends thought it was hilarious, the quiet nerd falling for the popular girl. They encouraged her to play along, to make him believe he had a chance. And she did. She played the part perfectly. Then came the night that changed everything. It was a loud college party, the kind of chaos Ethan usually avoided. But Lily had invited him. She told him she wanted to introduce him to everyone as her boyfriend. His heart nearly burst with excitement. He spent hours getting ready, rehearsing what he'd say, convincing himself that his life was about to change for the better. When he arrived, everyone was already there. Lily stood in the center of the room, stunning as ever. When she saw him, she called him over. "Everyone," she said with a huge grin, "meet Ethan, my boyfriend." The room exploded with laughter. Phones were out, cameras flashing. Ethan froze, completely bewildered. He didn't understand what was happening, not until he saw the cruel, mocking smirk on Lily's face. "Come on, Ethan," she said, pretending to pout. "You didn't really think I'd date you, did you?" The laughter echoed in his head for weeks. Videos of that night went viral on campus. He became the punchline of every joke, the guy who actually thought he had a chance with the girl everyone wanted. He stopped going to class, stopped talking to people, and eventually dropped out of college. After that, no one saw him again. 2 years passed. Lily had graduated, but life hadn't gone the way she'd imagined. Her friends had drifted away, her social media fame had faded, and she was struggling to find her place in the real world. Then, one morning, she received an email, a job interview invitation from a well-known company she had applied 2 months ago. It was the opportunity she had been desperately praying for. The company was owned by a young, rising entrepreneur who had built his business from nothing. She didn't know his name, but his story was all over the news, a self-made millionaire who had turned his pain into purpose. The day of the interview, she walked into the sleek glass building, a mix of nerves and excitement. The receptionist led her to a modern office and told her to wait for the CEO. She sat down, rehearsing her answers, straightening her skirt, trying to calm her racing heart. Then the door opened. She turned around and froze. Standing there, dressed in a tailored suit, was Ethan. He was older, sharper, radiating confidence. But his eyes. She recognized them instantly. "Lily," he said, his voice calm but eyes cold. "It's been a while." She couldn't speak. The room seemed to close in around her. "Ethan, I didn't know." He smiled, but it wasn't the same boyish smile she once mocked. It was the smile of a man who had mastered his pain. "I'm sure you didn't," he said, walking to his desk. "Please, sit." She sat down slowly, her hands trembling. He opened her file and began to read. "You're applying for a position in marketing. Impressive resume, you've done decent work." He glanced up. "But tell me, Lily, why should I trust someone who once publicly humiliated another person just for being honest?" Her heart sank. "Ethan, that was a long time ago. I was young and stupid. I am so sorry for what I did to you." He leaned back in his chair, studying her. "You're right. It was a long time ago. But you know what's funny? That night changed my life. I realized no one was ever going to believe in me unless I believed in myself first. So I built this company from the ground up. Every insult, every laugh, it all fueled me." She swallowed hard. "You've done incredible things. You proved everyone wrong." He nodded slowly. "I did, but do you know what else I realized?" He stood up and walked to the window, looking out over the city. "Revenge doesn't always mean hurting someone back. Sometimes it just means becoming so successful that they have to watch." Lily's eyes filled with tears. "So, you're not going to hire me?" He turned around. "I didn't say that. You'll get the job under one condition." She looked up, confused. "What condition?" He smiled faintly. "That you earn it. No favors, no shortcuts, no sympathy. You'll start at the bottom, just like I did. Every single day you'll have to prove you deserve to be here. Consider it your chance to understand what humility feels like." Lily nodded, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you," she whispered. For the next few months, she worked harder than she ever had in her life. Ethan barely spoke to her, treating her just like any other employee. But every time their eyes met, she saw a reflection of her own past, the pain she had caused, and the man she had so foolishly underestimated. Over time, Ethan noticed something different about her. The arrogance was gone. She was quiet, focused, and humble. She apologized again, not with words this time, but through her actions. She supported her co-workers, took responsibility for her mistakes, and showed genuine kindness to everyone around her. One evening, long after everyone else had gone home, Ethan walked into the office and found her still working. He leaned against the doorway. "You've changed," he said. She looked up, surprised. "I had to. That night, it still haunts me. I ruined someone good. I don't expect forgiveness, but I wanted to be better than the person I was." Ethan nodded. "You are, and maybe that's the real revenge. You had to live with what you did, while I turned it into something greater." She smiled sadly. Then I guess we both learned something. He walked over and extended his hand. No grudges. Let's start over. She took his hand, and a wave of relief washed over her. Years later, their story became a lesson, not about love or vengeance, but about growth. Ethan never sought to destroy her. He sought to rise above her cruelty. And Lily learned that humiliation and pride fade, but regret can last a lifetime. In the end, Ethan's true revenge wasn't about breaking her. It was about proving that he could rebuild himself stronger than ever before. As he often told his employees, don't waste your time trying to get even with people who wronged you. Just become so good that they can never forget you, because sometimes the best revenge is success. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that makes you think. We'll see you in the next one.